fermented vegetables, super important. I love this stuff. I mix it up with mashed up fish or fish salad. So this is one of my favorites. I also usually get something purple. So this beet and cabbage one is one of my favorites. But there's all kinds of options. Hey, it's been a long time since I've done a shopping video, but I thought, why not do another one now? I'm covered in rainwater. I'm in Whole Foods, so we're just going to go over some of the things that I always buy every time I come. I also always buy some cilantro and parsley because they really are helpful with your preservation. And I always buy purple cabbage, so I really do some of those. It's hard to get your purple phytonutrient groups in, so cabbage and blueberries are a great one. Dark leafy greens are also something that we want to try to be eating almost every day. So there's a lot of options here. Today I'm going to get some beautiful chard, and it's so pretty, all the red, and some kale. Ginger root at home as well. I'm not going to buy any today because I already have some, but I am going to pick out some avocados. Always keep those in the house. And as you guys know, the onion and garlic family is super important. Easy to cook with our flavoring, so I like to get purple onions. Again, getting this phytonutrient group in is really, really important. So we're doing really good here so far. I already have garlic, but I'm going to get a variety of onions. I love making soup with this beautiful kombucha squash, so I'm going to get some of this for my orange phytonutrients today. These are fabulous for soup. And now getting into some of my proteins. I'm always going to buy salmon every time I come to the store. I like to put these and then chill them in the fridge, and I will smash them up with some the fermented vegetables and some of my beautiful herbs and avocado. It's delicious. Another thing that I always buy at Whole Foods or in Sprouts is Force of Nature ancestral foods. So here's an example. The venison or the meat is so good for us, but this is ground up into the other meat, so it's not as intense as eating like a giant piece of liver. But these are like really great to cook down with veggies or to make into hamburgers. I love it, and I highly recommend ancestral. Also always going to be picking up eggs. So these here are my absolute favorite eggs. When you open them up, they have a very dark, bright yellow yolk, which tells you they are extremely high in nutrient value. And then other eggs start tasting disgusting, unfortunately, but these are really fabulous. I also always buy fermented dairy, so I am going to pick up some plain yogurt that has something added to it. So I usually go with tuna and wheat yogurt, really kind of get together clean, unflavored. These are great. The other thing that I really love to get is cultured cottage cheese. It's super high in protein, so there's a few options here at Whole Foods for that. I really love chocolate, and so do my kids. So I make healthy chocolate chip cookies, and I'll have to share some of those recipes. I make them with low protein, it's super high in protein. I also make overnight oats, but I will use 100% blackout chocolate with no sugar. It's really good. It's awesome. You should try it. I also usually buy some kind of legume. We'll have these a couple of times a week. Black beans or kidney beans. Today I'm going to get some, we'll go with the red lentils. We'll get a big thing of red lentils, and we'll make some probably dal or something like that with lots of ginger and onions and garlic and turmeric with these lentils and some bone broth. Another thing I picked up today is tea. So green tea is super good for you. It also helps you with body transformation pathways. Instead of the Earl Grey, so I like that too. And then also drink coffee, not bad for you. So that was a pretty quick shopping trip, and certainly is not the only, sorry, driving, things I buy. It's just a
a common example of staples and meals that we'll have from that. So like tonight I'm gonna chop up those greens really small and make a dark leafy green salad to go with our dinner of chicken and sausage that we have from Iverstein's already. And we'll have some fruit salad on the side. We'll use those eggs for breakfast with berries and avocados. Another thing that my kids like to eat, and I like too, is making overnight oats with gluten-free sprouted oats that I buy at Costco. And I make it with yogurt and flax, chia, and hemp seeds. A lot of times I'll blend the hemp seeds in the blender to make basically a homemade hemp milk. So it turns into a very nutrient-dense, high-protein breakfast. And I'll actually cut up one of those 100% dark chocolate bars and mix that in there too. Probably have that for tomorrow. It's so good. That salmon, I'll cook it in the oven and then throw it in the fridge for the next day and just smash it up with avocados and olive oil, maybe a little paleo mayo, some dill, some mint if I have any, and those fermented vegetables. And it's really a delicious, nutrient-dense lunch or dinner. I'll use that fermented, cultured cottage cheese and smoothies that we make with whey protein and either flavored with frozen fruit or cacao, stevia to make a chocolate smoothie. But putting some cultured cottage cheese adds even more protein and some probiotic to naked whey smoothies that we like to make. So that's just some examples. There's all kinds of wonderful whole foods out there, but some very simple things that are quite yummy. Had to take a break. Other things that I didn't mention. So the lentils, I make dal a lot because you can use bone broth to up the protein, and then you get to put in onions, garlic, ginger, and turmeric, which are so good for us all in one delicious dish. It's also good to put cultured cottage cheese on top of that to increase the protein. You have tons of fiber from the lentils. That kombucha squash makes a great soup with bone broth and can be seasoned many ways. You can find online. It's really creamy and delicious. The cabbage, a lot of times I just chop that up and cook it down with that ancestral blend, either venison or bison, and then I can add cilantro or parsley to that for increased nutrient value. Cilantro and parsley are also delicious in smoothies, especially with cucumber and ginger and ice, and you just blend it up, and this is really refreshing drink. So those are some other ways that are very, very simple and fast to use whole foods that are highly nutrient dense, full of phytonutrients, detoxifying for your body, supporting your microbiome, all the things that you want to be able to do, as well as getting all of those great proteins in. So I don't love coming in Costco. I'm much more excited when I get to go shop local. The market on Saturday, but alas, there's some things I get there as well. You'll notice I'm passing up the wine. Of course, alcohol is fun, but we don't get to buy it all the time. When we're thinking about our brain health, our microbiome health, our metabolic health, we gotta skip it. So today I picked up all of these lovely vegetables and fruits and have really covered my phytonutrient areas, my brassicas. We got some mushrooms, which I also love buying Maggie's mushrooms at the market. They're amazing. You know, I'm gonna blend these into a smoothie with the cilantro and parsley. These are just simple, like cook down, smash them up, put them on the side of a simple meat. So easy stuff for the week for all 6 of us. I buy a lot of food because I have 14. Veggie, I've added some more protein and turkey since we got our fish and our red meat at the other store, and a couple of cheeses. I do buy some of the cheeses here, organic feta, this Italian hard cheese. We don't eat a ton of cheese, but we do have to get our calcium, and it's a good source, decent source of protein. one of my favorites, and my kids eat the bajonkies out of this stuff. I'm gonna get like 6 packs of this, literally, fermented dairy, more yogurt. I also really like to get these almond flour tortillas. They're delicious, they're easy, they're low carb, they're gluten-free. I usually get 2 packs because there's so many of us. They're great for eggs in the morning, soft tacos, little turkey wraps, things like that. Super simple for lunch. And we all really like kombucha. It's expensive. I made it once. It took me, 7, 10, 14 days, whatever it was. And then it was gone in like 15 minutes. So you do have to be really careful about the sugar content. So, this is not a low carb situation. These, I would say 13, 12, 15. It's okay to drink a little bit of this. There are some with less sugar, some with more sugar. So whenever you're drinking fermented drinks, you have to really check for that. I will also typically rack up on a package of most of these frozen fruits, because usually when my kids are home alone in the summer, if they want snacks and I can say eat frozen fruit, they're not binging on snack food, which we don't buy any of. They actually would have to walk down the street or get in the car and secretly drive somewhere, which they do, I'll know it. But at least these are the things I'm providing. And frozen blueberries, such as this, make a great, delicious, healthy snack for kids. And then we add them on top of, the overnight oats I make with all the protein in them. And into smoothies, a little bit of frozen berries goes a long way, and they're super good. The other thing I get a lot of here is this lemon, because we just mix it with water and a little bit of stevia, and it's something that the kids can have whenever they want. And I get that apple cider vinegar, because then you can mix lemon juice, stevia, water ice, and you have a wonderful little spritzer. That's great for your gut. I also try to always keep bone broth at the house to add protein to soups, beans, quinoa that I cook. It's really good for your gut too. Sometimes we make it, if we have bones, I just put them in the crock pot for a couple of days. I love these great organic olives, so I always buy a couple of jars of these when they have them. Sometimes they don't have them here at Costco. But olives are a great whole food. Here is another thing that I really love, is nutso. It's just this great creamy blend of a lot of different nuts and seeds. You can see them here. I use this to make zucchini bread that has no flour in it. I'll have to share that recipe. It's really nutrient dense. And I use it as the base in my cookies, high protein cookies, that I'll have to share the recipe for that too. I'm also gonna get some of this marinara sauce. I don't always buy this, but I'm thinking of how much work I have to do this week, so I'm thinking of like quick weekday meals. I can use this sauce. So I checked it, and there's no added sugar. You probably can't see, but it's just really clean ingredients. So I just have to check that, because pasta sauce is basically a little bit sugar, which is disgusting. So I'll probably like smash some sardines in this and use some quinoa pasta. We exercise a lot, so we don't have to be excessively low carb. We're still relatively low carb. And put some of that cauliflower smashed on the side. It's going to take me like 10 minutes to make it, but it's still super healthy. And lastly, I already have some of these, but I will often get some of these sprouted pumpkin seeds and kind of crush them up and put them in overnight oats or the zucchini bread that I make. And I usually buy hemp seeds, but I already have that. I always keep hemp flax and chia at the house, a great omega source. And these are these beef sticks, turkey beef sticks. Not beef sticks, turkey meat sticks, beef sticks. These are snacks that I keep in the pantry for the kids, so when they need something to take to school, or whenever we're at work and they're at home, they get to eat frozen fruit and beef sticks, and it's a much better snack than many, many others that kids are eating.